On special occasions like birthdays and anniversaries, and especially now during the holiday season, we like to create personalized greeting cards that add our own special touch to it. And I would like to do the same, and I would like to do that using this particular image. But as you can see, this particular image has issues. It is blurry, it is dark, it is not color balanced. But yet it is an image that I saved because I liked it, and I kept it so that I eventually hoped that I could find a use for it. Well, going through a recent issue of Photoshop User magazine, I saw a technique that I thought would really help me with this particular image. So I went through it and I tweaked it a little bit, and I think I found something that might make this image useful for a particular application like a holiday greeting card. I'm an impressionist at heart, so the exercise really allowed me to play with that thought. So here are the tweaks that I made to this image. In the first steps of the exercise, what I had to do is to define a pattern. So with this background layer selected, and that basically means I'm going to define a pattern for this entire image as the pattern itself. So I'm going to go to the Edit menu and select Define Pattern. I'm going to give this pattern a name. I'm going to name it Last File and choose OK. Now over to the Layers panel over here, I'm going to take this background layer and drag it down to the new layer icon so that I can duplicate it. And then with the background copy layer still selected, I'm going to go to the Filter menu and select Stylize and select Find Edges. What this will do is really give it an illustrative type look that's really going to play into the manipulation of the image itself. And also, like the impressionistic style, what I'd like to do is add a texture to this image. So I'm going to create a brand new layer that's going to allow me to do this. So I'm going to go back over to my Layers panel and click on the new layer icon, and then drag this new layer 1 to the to below the background copy layer. And because I want you to see the texture that I'm going to add, I'm going to momentarily turn off the background copy. And let's add the color white to this and then add a texture to it. So I'm going to use the shortcut key, Command Delete on a Mac or Control Backspace on a PC to fill this with a background color of white. Then let's go to back to the Filter menu and select Texture and select Texturizer. Okay, over at the left, the texture that I want to select is going to be Canvas. And the scaling I want to be set at 100. And relief, I want to give it a nice deep texture, so I'm going to set that at 21. And then choose OK. So now with my layer and texturized layer 1 below the background copy, I'm going to turn the background layer copy visibility back on, and then I'm going to change the mode of the background copy layer as well. And I'm going to change that mode to Multiply. Multiply is going to allow the pattern from layer 1 to show through the background copy layer. Now before I go any further with that, I remembered that I will be adding text to this image, and I wanted to pick a sampling of color to use in the text layer from the image. So I'm going to turn off the visibility of the first two layers, go over to my toolbox, select the eyedropper tool, and I'm going to sample this color right here. Okay, that's set, so let's go back to the Layers panel and turn back on the visibility of the two layers. And now I want to add another layer. So back to the Layers panel, click on the new layer icon, and I'm going to drag layer 2 below the background copy layer as well. For layer 2, I'm going to set the mode to hard light. Now I want to go back and paint back in the pattern that was created in the first step. So I'm going to go over to the toolbox and select the pattern stamp tool. So now I have to actually select the pattern that was created. So up in the options bar, I'm going to hold down the pattern picker and select the pattern, the very last one that was created. Now typically when you're painting a pattern back in, you want to paint it over just particular areas of the image. But in this case, I want to paint the pattern over the entire image. So I'm still on layer 2. I have my pattern stamp tool selected, and I'm just going to start painting with a very large brush size. And I'm going to paint over the entire image. Okay, there we go. So what you see, or what I see, there we go. So what we have here, and I'm going to select the zoom tool so you can see, is that now you have a pattern or a texture on the image. Okay, so I've zoomed back out. Now I'm going to add type to my image. So first I'm going to go to the layers panel and click on a blank spot so that when my type is added it will now appear at the very top of the layers panel. So back over to the toolbox, select the text tool, and clicking on a spot on my image, I'm going to type in Happy Holidays and slide that type over to about there. And back to the layers panel, clicking on the type name will set the title there, and it will also allow me to then go to the FX icon at the bottom of the layers panel and select bevel and emboss, and I'm going to choose OK. That adds a little bit of a punch to my type, which was what I was looking for. Now when you're working, you often want to see where you started and where you ended up. So back over to the layers panel, I'm going to Alt or Option click on the background layer at the very bottom of the layers panel. This will turn off the visibility of all of the layers above it and show me again what I started off with, an image that was very blurry that I didn't know if I would be able to use but held on to it for a while. The image is also dark and the image has a host of other issues but I was able to use it using the technique in Photoshop User and tweaking it a little bit so that now I have my holiday greeting. It has a little bit of an impressionistic type of look. I like the warm tones, and happy holidays. Take care.